Hello, my name is Aiden. I am now in Guangzhou, China. In this city I call home, thousands of African immigrants live and work, raising families, running businesses, and building their futures. Yet too often they are misunderstood, stereotyped, or even judged unfairly by locals. Through this documentary, I want to share their real stories, their struggles, their resilience, and their dreams. My hope is simple, that by listening to their voices, we can replace prejudice with understanding and see each other as neighbors, not strangers. Since the early 2000s, Guangzhou has become a key hub for trade between Africa and China. Many African businessmen and families formed their own community there. Estimates vary, with the official registration numbers underestimating the real population, as many people stay on short-term visas or illegals. Today, 3 years after the COVID pandemic, the streets in their community are alive with voices, goods, and culture from across Africa. Life here was not always easy. For a city, managing a large population with complex visa issues is a challenge. For the immigrants, daily life brings even greater struggles. Language barriers, high healthcare costs, and limited legal protections mean that many live with great uncertainty. In recent years, discrimination became more visible. Africans were often singled out for evictions and even denied services. Families formed here often lacked legal recognition. This left many children banished from schools. Yet despite this, Africans continue to adapt and thrive. Their story about survival, resilience, and hope is what I want to share. Hey, Miss Gold, I know you're far away from your home country and it's your first time here in China. So how do you deal with homesickness, like when you want to go back home?
So initially when I came, the homesickness was much on me because it's my first time traveling so far away from family. But then I realized that, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't just wake up and decide to go back home. I'm here already, so I just have to adapt to the system. And then I discovered that my environment here in China, there are lots of Africans as well that I can actually mingle with. And the Chinese people are actually very nice people.
Yes.
I've met very, very lovely ones, and I am so happy I met them. So they helped me to adjust so well. They didn't really just the homesickness was like maybe for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it disappeared because I had a lot of good people around me.
Like after you finish studying here, do you plan to like work or do more study in China or like Nigeria?
Okay, for now, I'm doing masters, and I
Yeah.
hope to continue with my PhD after my masters.
PhD.
So I still hope to
That's a
continue here in
lot of
China.
time.
Yeah, with my PhD.
So do you cook here or do you just eat? Do,
Okay, I cook.
yeah.
Most times I cook, but sometimes when I'm too tired or come back from classes late, I just eat at the canteen. But majorly, I cook.
What's your favorite Chinese dish, like food?
I love rice, and I got here and I discovered the egg rice, Chinese egg fried rice, and it's
Yeah.
really nice. I love it.
Okay. Do you have any Chinese friends?
Yeah, I have a Chinese friend.
Where do you guys usually go to in leisure time, free time?
Some weekends I go out, like I and my friends could just visit somewhere in Guangzhou, and some weekends we just stay back and do some assignments because always have loads of assignments. So,
Oh.
and sometimes there are programs that are organized in the school. We just attend just to while away the time.
So how many years have you been in Guangzhou, China?
I've been here for about 10 years.
What do you think is the most convenient thing in Guangzhou or China?
If I want to go to my business, it's easier for me to take the metro. The metro is more convenient way for me
Yeah.
to move around. A place you can spend for 1 hour,
Yeah.
but with metro, you will
It's
have like 20, 30 minutes. So I think it's
Yeah.
convenient.
Wait, so as a consultant, you ask people stuff, or you just a businessman?
Yeah, business. Let me explain a little thing to you about this business, my job.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends back in Africa,
Uh-huh.
and most of them do normally do business here in China. So many of them who does not want to come to China. In
Oh.
fact, they are kind of scared of the air. So, yeah, a lot of people don't want to fly in the air.
Oh.
Yeah, so I used to do business with them, and I have so many Chinese clients also here. So mostly in Northern China, like Jinan, Yiwu.
Do you need like meetings often with your like Chinese clients?
Not really, but
Oh,
sometimes if need comes, I will travel to the city to see
okay.
them. But mostly we talk online since I already know the product I want to buy. So no
Okay.
need to always,
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
since I already know the product, hey, I want the same product again. What quantity? And they will do exactly and this ship for me here in Guangzhou. So
Ah,
it's
okay.
easier.
What do you think is the most convenient thing about doing business in China?
Everything you want, mostly everything you want in China, everything you want in this world is in China.
Made in China.
Everything made in China, all the world buy in China,
Yeah.
everybody buy in China. So the convenient thing is that you must see what you want in China.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Ah, I know you're working on a research project about Nigerians in Guangzhou. So, like, why have you like done this?
Actually, my research focus is Africans in Guangzhou. In the population, we have a lot of Nigerians. So I decided to research on the Nigerians living in Guangzhou and the culture integration and
Ah,
local participations. You understand? So
ah,
the cultural understanding and
ah,
of Africans, especially Nigerians in Guangzhou. So
oh.
yeah, so that's my research projects. And
If you had an African friend, what is the most Chinese thing you would bring them to see, or like most interesting thing you would?
most interesting thing is I like the tea culture. So
Oh,
I love Chinese tea and I want them to understand and drink Chinese tea and then take them to some of the beautiful spots to tour
oh
around,
yeah,
yeah, and have a beautiful sightseeing.
yeah. So do you speak and like write Chinese?
Oh yeah, I speak I speak Chinese, but I am actually learning by what.
Oh, I speak
Oh,
Cantonese. Yeah.
okay. So I want to learn by what, but right now my Chinese swan she okay lah.
Yeah.
So, but I want to learn Cantonese. I want to be able to speak Cantonese and
Oh,
Putonghua.
Cantonese. So what is the most used communication app between like you and your family or friends?
Yeah, it depends. My friends that are in China, we use WeChat.
Oh,
Then
okay.
for my family members or some of my friends outside, we use WhatsApp.
Have any problems with Visa?
For me personally, I don't have troubles with visa, but I think a lot of foreigners have complications on getting visa. So I think the problem here is most of them, while coming, they don't really understand some of the kind of visa that are offered here, right?
Yeah.
Information is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the foreigners to get to know the information about the kind of visa that is they are able to get, and also for the authority to communicate the kind of visa that they are willing to give. The way that the authority is solving the issue is based on Chinese law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course, everybody has to obey the law of China. Wherever you are, you have to ru san sui su.
Yeah.
You have to abide by the law and try to do what the law obtains so that you don't get stuck.
What language do you usually communicate like at home?
Language is a tool of communication,
Yeah.
okay? And language is very important. I use English to talk to my kids. But the mom is Chinese. So she uses Chinese to talk to them. And when the grandma comes here, my wife's mother, she uses Chaoshan language to talk with them. So they combine these three languages.
So do you usually celebrate Chinese like Chinese festivals, or do you celebrate like African stuff like parties or like celebrations, or do you celebrate both?
Yeah, when you are in Rome, you need to behave like the Romans, right? So I'm in China now. So I celebrate the Chinese festivals, especially the Spring Festival. I spend time with my family. For example, Chinese festival, we eat the dumplings and do other things.
Do you think a Chinese way of teaching your children or like a Western, more African way of teaching your children is like better? Which one do you think is better?
Yes, I think it's a matter of culture. No culture is better than another culture. So my kids here, I'm a foreigner, so I use Western way of teaching them. My wife is Chinese, so she teaches them in the Chinese that way. So, and I've been here for a long time. I have learned some Chinese culture and tradition. So I teach them also, so that they will have both of them,
Oh, so
because no knowledge is a waste. So when they have experience of this and experience of Chinese culture, and they combine together, it's good for them as they grow up.
a combination is good.
Yes.
Do you think being a foreigner will bring any like inconveniences like in like China like modern like today?
China, like I said, China is evolving. In the past there was inconvenience, but as you stay here, mix up with the people, speak their language, make friends with them, you don't see any inconvenience again. For example, I see China as my home now, my second home, because I've been here for a long time. So there's not much inconvenience here. Things are okay and I feel relaxed. But many foreigners also, find it inconvenient because of language barrier, language barrier and cultural barrier. So that's it. But other things for myself, things are very normal and fine, convenient.
When I listen to these stories, I'm reminded of another journey, that of Chinese people who left Southeast Asia more than a century ago. In cities across America, Europe, and Southeast Asia, they built Chinatowns. At first, these communities were met with suspicion and prejudice. They were called outsiders, kept at the edges of society, and blamed for problems that they did not create. But over time, their hard work, their traditions, and their families became part of those cities' identities. Today, African immigrants in Guangzhou are walking a similar path. They are traders, parents, and neighbors, often misunderstood but full of hope. Just as Chinatowns eventually came to symbolize resilience and cultural exchange, perhaps one day these communities in Guangzhou will not be seen as foreign, but part of the city's living heart. As a student growing up here, I believe the more we listen and understand, the closer we come to seeing each other not through the lens of difference, but through our shared humanity.